What's up, good people? Thanks for thanks for hanging on. I don't know what happened to that intro. Anyway, what's up? Hope everybody's doing good. Thank you guys for joining Hot Topics, where you getting your commentary, your news, your information, some social activism, some social justice, just some awareness. And, maybe you did not hear about certain things and you want to hear what happened today. Thank you guys for joining. I know you had a good day. Today is Tuesday, June the 11th, and I know that you made it. I feel like if you had an opportunity to breathe, you had an opportunity to say that you made it. Do me a favor, share this video. It could be helpful. It's going to be really short tonight. It's going to be helpful for some people because a lot of people don't even know what some stuff I'm talking about. They just hear it in the media and they hear talking points. So I'm going to try to explain some things tonight for you guys. And so that for those people in the back who really don't know what's really going on. So again, if you're not following, if you do me a favor, just go out here and just go like this page for me, subscribe to this page. Because every time I do these videos, I also upload them to the YouTube channel, the YouTube channel. So there, we're trying to get our subscriber base up. So please go out here and subscribe. There'll be more videos we'll start uploading. I am getting ready to start some editorial videos in the future, but it'll be one subject. So it won't be a combination of subjects like we're talking about here, and it won't be live. It will be pre-recorded and stuff of that nature. Because I told you guys in the beginning of the year that's what we're going to start doing. So we're going to go ahead and kick that off. So do me a favor, just make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and also for those who are helping, this channel stay abreast. Thank you. For those who would like to, just do me a favor. Just subscribe. I mean, you could be a patron for $2 a month. Thank you so much again for those who have decided to say, hey, Mark, we're going to subscribe and we're going to help your channel. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's get into this tonight. How do I talk about this? I'm trying to talk about this in terms that we would all be able to understand the significance of what just happened. So I'm going to talk about some local news here, and then we'll talk about some national news. So let me give some shout outs to you guys. What's up, Mo? What's going on? Let's see, you guys and y'all stage names. Pretty Black. What's up, Rochelle? What's up, Denise? What's up, Debbie? What's up, Latanya? Natasha, the one you let get away. Yo, that's the whole name. The one you let get away, Robinson. Oh, I'm sorry, Natasha. I hope they didn't get away. What's up, Crystal? All right, guys. Now I gave some shout outs. If I did not shout you out, I didn't see you. I didn't see you come on. So charge to my head, not my heart. Getting back to the subject. Here we go, guys. I want you to read this headlines. This headlines is very simple. This is local news here. And those who are in Oklahoma County, please pay attention to this. Those who are in another state, please pay attention to this. Why is this important? You're probably going to say to yourself, I don't even understand what this is. So we're going to read this here. It says commissioners get an earful on 287G. Sheriff laments lack of peaceful conversations as crowd garner in opposition and support. So, why did I read that headline? I read that headline because, let me put it back up on the screen so you guys can see this here. Because I read this headline because I think it's very important when we talk about, when we are speaking in terms of exactly what 287, let's talk about what 287G program is. Let's just go ahead and talk about that because I think a lot of people don't even know what the hell 287G program is. So, ladies and gentlemen, 287G program is a program. I'm trying to get this thing blow up here. Is a program that that says, why does it have an ad on here? Sometimes y'all sites be doing the extra most. I can't even blow this joints up. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay, let's just hope that the ad goes away. 287G program is a program that basically says this. And I'm just going to put it in layman's terms. It says that as a elected official, as a police officer, I, as a police officer, can go and question a person who is an undocumented worker or an undocumented immigrant, and I can question them and possibly detain them if I have suspicion that they committed a crime. I said that committed a crime situation is because we often hear the term criminal aspect, okay? Criminal aspect is used very loosely in this country. Criminal aspect could be that the fact that you actually turned the wrong lane, right? In some eyes of a police officer, you broke the law. You're a criminal. Even though it's a traffic misdemeanor, but in some aspects, certain police officers feel that if you broke the law, you turned right when there was when the sign said do not turn. Okay? So why am I talking about this? Because 287G program, in my opinion, is a very, very, very racist program. Because what it does is basically says, where's your papers? Where's your papers? Where's your papers? Where are your papers? And this is the reason why I have been a proponent, as well as a lot of people, been a proponent of the 287G program, been a proponent against it. Because it's not right. It shouldn't be. No state, no county should not have this program for individuals that act as if that they are okay to go out here and pull you over and give you, read you all those different things, ask you your papers, ask you your citizenships, because you may have ran a red light. So this particular program is a federal program where the federal government gives money to the county, and it almost federalized the deputies to put them on a ICE hold, immigration hold. Totally different from the state. It's an ICE hold, meaning that the citizens of Tulsa County are not paying to detain this person because this person is undocumented, that we feel. So 2 years ago, the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office had this program. Prior to that, they had this program. At one time, it was only the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office had this program in the state of Oklahoma. They adopted this program. It came under the former Sheriff Stanley Glantz. Now, this sheriff comes in. He wants to continue the same thing. Okay? The same thing. He wants to continue the same thing. Oklahoma County now has the same thing, the 287G program. They have it. Oklahoma County has the same program. So what ends up happening is that this sheriff, as you see to my right, he has, because his program is still now in adoption, his deputies have the right to put on immigration holds on those who they feel. So this created a blow up. Again, 2 years ago, there was a blow up, but now there's been this huge blow up. Why? Because citizens are now more engaged. We also understand that Tulsa County residents are more engaged, probably because of the politics and all those different things. But what has happened is that they've already passed and signed this. The county commissioners, 3 of them, they signed this whole 287G program. They've already signed it. But the citizens felt like they were blindsided. So they had speaking engagements and they had public comments, and that's what happened Monday. So they had it last week, and then they had it again this week. So the sheriff is basically trying to explain to people, hey, guys, hey, we need to be civil. This is not about being angry. This is about the criminal element. Okay. I remember I was telling you that we use the criminal element very loosely in this country. We use it very loosely. what I want people to understand is that there are two sides. You have this pro-conservative side that feels as if that their rights are being trampled on. Then you have this other side, which some of you guys may classify yourselves as, is the liberal side that will say, no, this is not fair. So let me read the conservative side because I want to make sure that I give credence to both sides as far as journalism is concerned. There was a guy, and let me show you the picture of this guy right here, and I'm going to show you a picture of him. This guy right here. Do I need to blow it up? Let me just blow it up right here. This guy right here. He's a former legislator candidate, and I'm going to get to his name in a minute, but I want you to pay attention. Keep this guy's image in your head when I read what he said. If you see his shirt, it says, "Don't California my USA." That's what he said. Don't California my USA. So let me read what he has said, and we can finish kind of talking about this. I'm gonna read what he says, just in all in transparency. So that way we will see exactly why he doesn't want to California his USA. Okay, let me go down here. The guy that we're speaking about, his name is let's get to this fool. Where is his name? All right. Okay. Here we go. Here's his name right quick. I'm sorry, guys. I had it up here. Here it is right here. There we go. I'm just going to put it on the screen because you guys don't need to see me. Supporters often sounded more concerned about illegal immigration in the general than serious offenders, or seemed not to draw much, if any, distinction between the two. His name, the person I showed you, his name is Randall Barnett. He's a former legislative candidate. He warned of brewing Tet offensive, which is a series of surprise attacks by the Viet Cong on South Vietnamese cities during the Vietnam War. He goes on to say, it's easy to discover a systematic plan of conquer in Latin America, migration. This is what he said. He also goes on to say, communications potentials are expanding with every single Central American, African, and Arab arriving here. He then goes on to say, once they arrive here, how many are directed to education centers run by the far left or camps in the woods of a Tet offenses? It's offensive. It's coming. I've been talking to plenty of military vets who are watching this go on. Then he goes on to say, don't California my USA, don't California my Oklahoma. Now, I, like many of you guys, are probably saying to yourself, dude, are you serious right now? Don't California. And I want you guys to really understand and don't discount ignorance. Okay. I don't want you to discount ignorance. And I'm going to tell you why I said don't discount ignorance, because Mr. Barnett is representing a constituent, because after he spoke, there was a standing ovation from people who are pro the 287G program. He speaks their language. So as crazy as that seems, as insanely as that seems, he speaks their language. That's what he does. Don't California my USA. Don't California my Oklahoma. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something, that California's economy, it's the number one economy in the country. When we want to say California, my USA. Oklahoma economy is nowhere near even the economy of a Los Angeles, or the whole entire state doesn't even have the economy like a Los Angeles or a San Francisco. So this is a little state that wants to compare themselves to immigration. Don't California, my USA. I don't want people to really discount him, what he's saying, because like I said, he speaks with a large stick, because he's saying things that people believe. And I want people to really, truly understand this. We were warned. We were warned when this situation was going to happen, but we failed to act. We failed to act because, and I'm talking about accountability now, ladies and gentlemen. We failed to act because we literally thought a sheriff doesn't have all that power. Who is the sheriff of Tulsa County? We don't really care about the sheriff of Tulsa County. Let me explain something to you. The sheriff has no damn boss. The sheriff of a county has no boss. The chief of police does, but the sheriff doesn't have a boss. The sheriff is the law of the county. And what typically they say goes. But I want to urge you guys to a train of thought, and I want you to think about this, okay? There have been many times that people of color have been used to pass the agendas of their oppressors. I don't want you to discount that statement, what I just said. People of color have been used by their oppressors to continue to oppress those who look like them. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because we've seen this happen time and time again. Vic Regalado is Latino descent. We have a focus in this country of people coming from south of the border. I've heard a little bit about Sheriff Regalado's background. He is Latino descent. Regalado is Latino. And why am I talking about this? Is because the majority of the people that he's putting on ICE detention holds are his people. They're his people. I mean, if you want to be frank about it, whether he is from America or whether his family may be Latino descent, these are his people. But he is the law. And this is what typically happens to people of color when they get in power. We allow the law to turn around and to allow us to hurt our own people, not help our own people. Now, Sheriff Regalado said, this is about criminals. And like I said before, the word criminals could be used so loosely because criminals could mean, like I said, you turned a wrong light. You did something that is not favorable in the eyesight of the law. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. You have the sheriff of Tulsa County, who is Latino descent, who is going to take up and continue a racist policy that is going to hurt the majority of his own people. And he gives zero care about it. So this is my appeal to people of color when you get in office. Number one, you have an obligation to bring those who are oppressed up. Typically, you know who's oppressed. Just because you were handed with a silver spoon and you don't have to go through those struggles, and you're privileged. Doesn't mean that you can't turn back and help someone else. Not someone else who believes or agrees with you, but someone else who has had such a harder role than you've had. This is my plea to people of colors to understand it, because you may be in power. And keep in mind, the sheriff is in executive power. So we need to find out, what has the sheriff done for the Latino community? Has the sheriff turned around and brought in more English translations, people speaking? Has the sheriff done all of those different things to help the immigrant community? Why are people in the Latino community, in the immigrant community, especially the Mexican community, afraid to call the law? Well, guess what? They're afraid to call the law because they may feel like they can get deported. They may call the law. Dan, you said by law, they're undocumented, are legal until adjudicated otherwise. Absolutely. But unfortunately, Daniel, we are assuming and presuming that they are illegal. They have to go through the court system. They have to be documented. Yep, you are. So that's what happened in Tulsa. That's what's continually happening in Tulsa. This is stuff that we need to understand that is going to continue happening until you as citizens decide to say enough is enough. Remember, he's an elected official. His term is up in 2 more years, 2020. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay mad, or are you going to go out there and you're going to find a candidate to say, I want you to run for sheriff and I'm going to put some money behind you? That's the only way this is going to work, y'all. That's the only way. We can scream, we can yell, we can fight, we can yell, we can do all those different things. We can talk about how the mistreatment of the jail is. We can talk about all those different things. But until we decide to say, you as a candidate, we're going to fire you, we're going to bring someone else on that will be able to understand that as Tulsans, we are one. Whether you are documented or undocumented, we are still one. We should not have a sector of group who is here producing, paying rent, paying taxes, paying everything. We should not have these sector of people feeling as if that they are not contributing to the American economy as well as the Tulsa economy. Why do we have that here? Why is that? Why adopt those things? I hear you, Jay. I'm not ready for no sheriff. Some national stories right quick, and I'll get out your way. Thanks, Jay, for joining. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this law. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we can talk about this. Alabama has done something again, and I want you guys to kind of think about this. Alabama has turned around and passed a law called criminal castration. Now, Alabama's not alone. There's a lot of states that have done this. Texas, California, and other states have turned around and passed this same type of law, and it's criminal castration. But it's mandated in Alabama. Alabama is basically saying that, you know what, this is going to the sexual predators. If you have, the law basically says that if you have committed a sexual act on a minor who is 13 years or younger, you must do chemical castration. So what is chemical castration? Chemical castration basically is that you get a shot in your butt and it lowers down your testosterone. That is supposed to help people who are fighting sexual immoralities against children to not do that. This is their law. This is what they're saying. This is the headlines. Alabama's law forcing sex offenders to get chemical castration. That's what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. They have forced them. The governor has signed this bill. Now, a lot of opponents are basically saying that, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What having an individual with lower testosterone, it's not really solving the problem, especially if you're not going to give him therapy and all those different things. Also, who's going to pay for this? We understand now that the shot costs up to $1,000, and there's a series of shots. You can get it for 1 month, and you can get it to up to 3 months. Now, Alabama is the only state that is mandating this. The other states are kind of volunteering, especially Guam and the other territories. The other states are volunteering. So a lot of people are saying also in conjunction to this is, you last week just said that a person can get raped, but they can't have an abortion, but you're going to mandate someone do something. So they're basically saying this is against their 8th Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment, because it's against their will. How do you guys feel about it? I would love to know how you guys feel about it. Alabama law they on it. They are on it. They're basically saying this chemical castration is it's happening. Let me read some context to you right here. It says Alabama's law, HB, House Bill 379, passed the state legislature in May. The law requires anyone convicted of sex offense against someone under 13 to start chemical castration treatment at least a month prior to the release of their parole, and to continue until the court determines the treatment is no longer necessary. The law requires offenders to pay for their own treatment. Though it says that they cannot be denied parole solely for their inability to pay. We know that ain't the truth. Chemical castration treatment costs $1,000 a month for medication alone. The sponsor of the bill, Republican State Steve Hurst, has been hoping to pass such legislation for 15 years. He goes on to say, I'll prefer it be surgical because that way I look at it. If they're going to mark these children for life, they need it to be marked for life. He told the network. He also went on to say, my preference would be if someone does a small infant child like this, they need to die. What y'all think? Some of you guys are saying it will do nothing. Shonda, Kim, you said they did this in the 60s and 70s. Seemed they had quit because of being inhumane against humans. I didn't know they did this in 60s and 70s, Kim. Kim, you also said waste of money. Erica, you said the elite that love child needs to say the same thing. I don't know, y'all. I'm on the fence on this. I'm really on the fence on this because I understand the intent, but I don't. But to me, I think that they should talk to doctors. Because from what I understand, that if you're not having treatment towards the series of the treatment of why you're committing this act, mental treatment, just you having low testosterone doesn't stop you from going out there. I don't think so. I'm not a doctor. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, so how far will this go, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, think about it. Will this also go into prison systems? There was, for people in the military, I remember doing boot camp, there was this rumor going around that they gave you a pill called saltpeter, which reduced your testosterone during your basic training. I don't know if they're still doing that now. I doubt it very seriously. However, how far will this go? Kim, you went on and you say, no, this is mutilation. You said it will not stop these perverts from repeating this. This is so much about the sexual gratification and about dominance and control. They will use this. They will use an object instead of a broom to handle. I agree. I don't necessarily know. Shonda, you said, and I agree with him on someone doing this to kids needs to die. Okay, Shonda. She said, I won't go as far as die, but because I have my, I guess you're saying suspicions about the death penalty. Okay. Thank you, Shonda. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of on the fence on this. I'm really on the fence because I want to protect children, but I think if you're not coupling this with, first of all, I don't like the government mandating you to do anything to your body. I don't like that. And I think it's wrong because I think it could be abused, especially when we talk about things of this nature. So I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it. Is it cruel and unusual punishment, especially as mandated? And they said that it won't affect their parole, but I beg to differ. I certainly beg to differ because we know how the government works, especially those who are already presumed. And then we're talking about sex offense. You know, you don't necessarily know that sex offense to a child that's under the age of 13 could be a conspiracy situation. Could be a ton of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. Renisha, you said it can lower their sexual drive. Yes, it can. It can. I'm in favor of that. We need to protect our children, though. We do, but I don't necessarily know. To me, you should protect them through law, but I don't know, guys. I'm just kind of on the fence. I swear, I'm on the fence. I really am. I want to not agree with him wholeheartedly, but then I'm like, I don't know. This is just one of those moments where Mark Lewis is just don't know. All right, guys, let me go on to my next subject here. Here's this beautiful woman. Her name is Miss Camara. Look at her. She was brutally attacked in May. Miss Camara was brutally attacked and beaten and robbed by a group of teens in Bronx, New York. I want you guys to get this imagery. She is a college student, and she basically was coming home from her ceremony at college, and she was attacked by 3 teenagers. She was attacked. She is a practicing Muslim, and these teenagers were hurling racial slurs at her. They broke her nose. She had concussions. She suffered a ton of pain. Yep, she did. But it didn't stop there. So Miss Camara went on to go to the police station and tell them what happened. She went to the hospital, then she went to the police station, filed a report, and she kept going back, and they brought in the people, and they wanted her to identify the people. She couldn't identify the people, and since she could not identify the people, they did what? Closed the case. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they closed the case. That's exactly what they did. They closed the case. So Miss Camara was just feeling distraught. She's only 22 years old. She's feeling distraught, and she basically was like, listen, you guys are going to close the case, son. This was a hate crime. So she kept going back, asking for information, asking for the police report. They kept saying they don't have it. The case is closed. It's sealed. So when she was walking one day, she went ahead and walked, and she noticed that there was a camera by where she was attacked. It was a store. So she went in and she talked to the owner of that particular business. They gave her the footage. As soon as she gave the footage, she released the footage to the media along with to the police. A couple of days later, the police called, and they have reopened the case and basically said that the case was never shut anyway. But let me tell you why this case, to me, in my opinion, is such a sad case, but there are victories to report on this case. The bad thing that happened to Miss Camara, to me, was the attack, but also it was also the disregard for police officers to investigate a woman of color that happened, an attack that happened to her. They didn't want to investigate it. They felt like she didn't have enough evidence. This is why it's so important. So she teams up with CARE. CARE is a Muslim organization that has went out and spearhead to be a voice for Muslim Americans. And she teamed up with this organization. And so where am I going with this? I'm going with this because I think it's very important for people to truly realize the importance of advocacy work for those who are out there fighting for you. Now, along with CARE, they went out there, they got the tape, they pushed for this, and now the case is reopened. And they gave the video to the cops. The media has it. And now they're looking at what happened to Miss Camara. They're looking at now what happened to her. But if it was not for this video, if it was not for this situation happening, where would Miss Camara be? Like many people who have had this situation that has happened to them, like many people who have had a lot of people disrespect them. She got hit to a bus. She had to fight. And if it wasn't for the video surveillance footage, she wouldn't have had the opportunity to go after. This is why it's so important, ladies and gentlemen, so important that we recognize that there are groups out here who are doing this type of work, and they're doing it and they're putting their lives on the line. They're out here saying to people that we matter. They're out here saying that we need your help and support. It is frustrating out here. When you have people, I help a lot of people, but I'm not alone. There are a lot of people out here who need help. Amir, he's saying he's an Orlando activist. And I'm speaking in terms of this because there are a lot of people who say that activism, oh, you just want TV cameras, or you just want this. But some of these people just need to be heard. Some of these people just need to know, okay, what can we do to help this young lady? What can we do to do something? What can we do? When the police themselves have turned their back on a person who was brutally abused, what can we do? When the police officers turned around and said, I'm sorry, there's nothing that we can do because you cannot even go out here and identify the people. She's in trauma. But what can we do? But then you have activism at its work and its finest, who are out here every day, making sure that they can be a voice for the people, making sure that they can hold the government accountable, making sure that Ms. Camara would at least have some form of speaking role that she can hold her head up. Thank God for CARE, who fought with her. Thank God for all of these people who stand in the gap and said, listen, we can't win all, but we can definitely win some. Without their help, I guarantee you this case wouldn't have been reopened at all. Without their help, without this evidence. Now, which is sad because all the police had to do was to go and investigate. Do your job. Go and investigate. Go to the business. They didn't even go to the business owner and say, hey, we see that camera right here. We're going to go ahead and commandeer that tape. We can't even do that. Y'all can't even do that. No, they can't do it. And I think these things are very important. So when I talk about advocacy work, when I talk about these activists out here, there's so many of them. I get it. And I'm not telling you be out here and go, and just because somebody grabs a bullhorn from Harbor Freight and someone goes out here and just wants to get on television, but truly check their record. Truly find out, are they for the people or they are with the establishment to hurt the people? Like I had told you, there are many fakes out here. There are many people out here who will feel as if that I am supposedly for the people, but then you have to find out what type of work did they do. Okay? That's your job. That's your job to investigate. Who have you helped? What is your track record? That's your job. Or are you just going to use me to gain notoriety because you want to be the center of attention? Or are you really caring about how I feel? Are you really caring about me being this person? Are you really caring that I can go out here like Miss Camara to shine and to be my best and to be great? Are you really caring about that? So I ask you guys in full respect, I ask you guys to please understand the importance of advocacy work. The importance, maybe you're not a person who can go out here and schedule a protest or go on a press conference, but what you can do is to turn around and to speak out. This is not right. What can I do to help? That's all you got to do. And if people say, share the video, share this information, please tag this person in, make a phone call for me, or do something. Because people are out here needing help. And please, by no means, don't sit back and say the government is going to take care of you. We've had so many studies to know that black and brown people, the government doesn't take care of them. We know that. We don't need another damn study to show that. We know that. Who are black and brown, and especially those who are poor whites. We know this. This is heard of. We know this. We know that they over police us, but when we really need help, they don't come to our needs. We know this. So we're sometimes having to sit back and do the work, sometimes as a lawyer, sometimes as a police officer, to go and investigate information legally. Let me put this out there. Everything I'm talking about is legal work. Don't go out and do stuff illegal, like hold people on gunpoint and thinking that you the law. No George Zimmerman stuff. We're talking about true work that you can go ahead and help that person and give that person an opportunity to say, you know what? They care. They can't do it all, but at least I have something in my hand to go back to the police officers and say, you know what? Y'all didn't see that damn camera right there? Y'all didn't see that? Well, guess what? Here it is. Boom. Check it out. This is what I was talking to you about. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. And again, I appreciate you guys. If you really want to contribute to me, to my advocacy work, or to other people's advocacy work, please do so. But right now, need your support. Okay? Need your support. Because we do this without ads. We do this without sponsors. We do this for the people. God bless. Good night.